So look, I'm about to review a Puma shoe. It's only right. This shoe. Sorry, that's the box. Sorry. That's it. The Velocity Nitro 3. We gotta talk about it. It's important because you see, I had this one, the 5-star race day, but to me, the one before that's probably my favorite. The DV8 Nitro Elite 2, but also the daily trainer-ish of this kind, the DV8 Nitro without the Elite bit. But if you're looking for something with much more cushioning, the Forever Run, because you can run forever in it. You see, and I was missing that basic shoe, just a shoe to go running in. And that's what we're gonna talk about in this one. Sorry, this one. Let's talk about it. Okay, so my name is Aubrey and I'm a runner. That's a new intro, by the way. You see, I was calling myself a very average runner, then it got average runner, and then people went, Aubrey, you're doing really good with your running, you can't be calling yourself average, you're underselling yourself, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, cool. Give me ideas. What do you want me to say? So somebody commented this, and I love it. I'm a runner. I like that. And I like reviewing running shoes. So for this one, we're gonna talk Velocity Nitro 3. I always do my review starting with the 3 things you need to know. Let's start with the price. I'm gonna have to get, actually, let's go to this one. 110 pounds. Puma. I've been complaining a lot lately about the price of running shoes. So when Puma comes in and gives you a running shoe that contends as a daily trainer at 110 pounds, we have to talk about it. All right, bang. Let's talk stack height. You got 36 at the back, 26 at the front, being a 10 millimeter drop. I like that. And it's gonna be, when we talk about the midsole and how it functions, we'll talk about that and I'll tell you the detail why that matters. The weight. 287 grams in a 9.5 UK. For all the guys across the pond and anyone that understands ounces, there you go. Okay, the FOD section. How have I tested this shoe? I've only run in it once. So I'm calling this my initial thoughts. I'm gonna do some more running in it and then give you a more detailed full review. Believe it or not, it's gonna be much more detailed than this one. All right, so let's start talking about the shoe. Now, I like to keep things simple. We're gonna review the shoe, starting from the top, working our way down. Let's start with the heel. Now, 2 things to talk about that I always talk about in the heel. Let's go to this camera. I will always talk about the structure of the heel in terms of how rigid, how secure, of a fit it gives you, but as well as looking at the collar in terms of padding. Does it minimize heel slips? Does it give you a good secure hold? Now, let me illustrate. This is Puma's race day shoe, the 5-star. Now, I want you to see how minimalistic that heel collar is. It's very thin as compared to the Velocity Nitro 3. You see that padding? That is intentional, and I like it for it. So that padding will do 2 things. It gives you a plushy feel when you're putting the shoe on, but also your ankle will be held there much more securely. Now, in my one run, and this is why I'm calling this my initial thoughts, I didn't have a problem with heel slips at all. In fact, if you look, I didn't even do my runner's knot there. It's not needed. Good secure hold, basically a function of that padding, but also the structure of this heel, like you press it down, it's a very good, strong structure. And I like that, okay? Moving on to the tongue. Now, look. No, well done. Why? Gussetedness. The gusseting action. Let's talk, let me show you. There are some shoes that are super expensive. I'm talking 200 pounds and they're not gusseting the tongues. Why are you not doing it? Puma, giving us a 110 pound shoe and this thing is attached. The tongue is attached on the inside. Well done. Wait, let me come closer. Puma, well done. Apart from it being gusseted, the tongue is highly breathable. You can see the texture of that tongue. If you put it there, I don't know if you can, but it's highly breathable. It's got perforations all the way up until where you see that Velocity Nitro 3 writing. That has extra padding and it's got a thickness to it, essentially for when you're tying down the laces to minimize the pressure it's going to have on the top of your foot. Not only when you're tying off, but as you're running, as you're toeing off, there's additional pressure there. So adding that padding minimizes that pressure. Well done for that. And I think For 110-pound shoes, it's a perfect tongue. I can't complain. Now, here's where we might have to have a conversation about two things that, well, one thing I've seen other people flag, and therefore it would be wrong for me to not highlight it. It wasn't an issue for me, but it's worth highlighting. And the other thing, definitely for me. So, the upper. This is technically one of the best engineered meshes I have seen in terms of performance, more specifically, breathability. In the springtime, in the summertime, this will easily be one of those shoes you're gonna wanna reach to in terms of breathability. However, if you're as tropical as me and the weather outside is -5, oh my gosh. So in my one run, which I did in this, my feet were cold. Now, I also ran in very technical socks, so maybe you can adjust it by different socks. But I just wanna highlight that when these guys have done such a good job in making this breathable, there will always be the flip side, what happens in winter, which I currently am, and I'm not built for this winter nonsense. I just want to highlight that. The second thing that was highlighted, let's go to this one, is this runs a little narrow and thin, and therefore, if you get your sizing right, it might be that maybe you're gonna have a gap. Now, let me just tell you who mentioned this stuff. The guys at Run Testers flagged it, and one of my other favorite YouTubers, Chris Ford, 40 Runs, mentioned about the fit of this shoe. I just wanna say, I wear a 9.5 UK, and I think that's same as 4D Chris Ford, so we might just have different widths. For me personally, man, hey, it worked very well. I had no complaints. That bad boy did exactly what it needed to do. No complaints whatsoever. Sticking with the upper, if you talk Puma uppers, you always have to talk power tape. What the heck is power tape? Basically, if you look on the inside, can you see those letters over there? Power tape, all right? That's one shoe. Fast star, look on the inside, power tape, over there, all right? Deviate Nitro Elite 2, on the inside, power tape. You get where I'm going with this, right? Anyway, let me explain what this thing is. Power tape basically is Puma's way of adding reinforcement to the upper. If you look all around this shoe, this is the Forever Run, it shows you the reinforcement they've done in this section here, and that adds that secure hold. And if you look on the outside, you're gonna see some other lines outside of what you're seeing. There will be some power tape. Basically, trying to add reinforcement to the shoe that it holds your foot in a firm way that is enjoyable during your run. But it also adds a little bit of resilience to the shoe so it doesn't wear out very quickly, because they sometimes intentionally put it right there. Can you see that? Where that little toe would normally poke out, they have it there. All right, let's move on. All right, now let's talk midsole. Probably my biggest criticism of this shoe. However, it's only being criticized because of how good the other Puma lineup shoes are. But remember, this is being said in the context of this shoe being 110 pounds. Remember that, yeah? Remember, 110 pounds. If you look, it's a dual density foam. You've got this black part, which is your Nitro foam, and then this is an EVA foam, which is much more of the ordinary kind of foam in terms of, I guess, value and feel. I don't know. Maybe let's stick to feel. However, you get shoes like this, which is the DVA Nitro Elite 2, which has the Nitro Elite and then just Nitro foam. So the basic foam in a shoe like this is actually the premium foam in a shoe like this one. That to me is not necessarily a bad thing, but for me personally, it's why I probably won't gather a lot of miles in the Velocity Nitro 3. However, that's because I'm a sucker for max cushion shoes. If you're looking for a daily trainer though, you want a shoe that just get your easy miles in. A shoe you just put on and it just works. Especially at 110 pounds, contradicting what I've just said, it's gonna be hard to beat this. This is gonna be a very good offering. Now, don't get me wrong. There are shoes out there priced much more than this that don't feel as comfortable as this. How do you know your shoe's got very good outsole? I'll tell you. Well, you could run in it for loads of miles, then form an opinion, or you could just look on the underside there, right? Can you see that? there and look for that right thing, Puma grip, right? You go, next shoe, all right, turn it upside down. You see that? Puma grip. Okay, fine. How about this one? Puma grip, well, upside down. Puma grip, right? Fast R. Over there. There you go. You see that over there? All right, fine. Puma grip. And it's the same here. Sorry, I didn't have time to clean it. But it's the same over here. Puma grip is simple. And I'll be honest, the only other company I've seen do better outsoles than, for road running anyway, than Puma is Mizuno's Wave Rebellion Pro. That outsole is benchmark standard, the best I've ever seen. Puma comes very close to that, and I don't know anyone else that does better outsoles than Puma does. Also, Puma assures me that the lifespan of this shoe is 800K. That is possibly, for some people, their annual running. That is impressive. So who is this shoe for? Who should get it? Some people have said it's actually ideal for a new runner, someone who's trying to get into running. I want to contradict that a little bit because running is hard. You want to minimize any reason that's going to stop you from running and going in with, I don't want to call it too basic, going in with Puma's entry-level shoe won't give you the experience, the joy, the excitement that we get from running. For me personally, I would say look up probably the DV8 Nitro or the Nitro Elite 2. Those will be great for you. What this shoe is for though, is for you just trying to get out there and run. Put some shoes on and run. Also, if you're looking for a shoe to run and do walking in, because a lot of people that have been watching my reviews actually ask for recommendations for walking in, very easy recommendation. This is definitely going to be that shoe. What are the pluses and minuses in summary? A big plus, the price. £110. That is literally one of the most affordable shoes I've reviewed. Puma grip, bang. The breathability in this shoe, when spring, summertime comes, if you're running in hot weather, in a hot atmosphere, this is gonna be absolutely perfect. The tongue, the fully gusseted it. Well done, Puma. What are the minuses? I have to say, the strength and the breathability made it cold for me. Absolutely made it cold for me. And other people have flagged because of the narrow kind of shoe it is. Some people might struggle with the fit, but for me personally, I didn't. I enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you for checking this out. I hope to see you again on one of my reviews. Peace.